Hey guys, Grandmaster Thorn here with the Edge Martial Arts, and I want to just talk to you about effort. So this month we're talking about giving 100% effort. I want you to think back. So for this week, I want you to look backwards and think about, is there something you ever started where you came out strong, you were giving it 100% effort, and then all of a sudden it started to kind of fade? Because sometimes when we start something new, it's exciting, or we have the drive, we have the commitment to it, but then all of a sudden, if we start to run into a little bit of difficulty finishing whatever it is, or getting as good as we want to be, or understanding it, we can start to kind of lose that enthusiasm we have that really helps us to accomplish the task. Without accomplishing it, it's hard to really drive through that 100% the whole time. So if you think back and other things we've talked about, perseverance, right? Kind of overcoming that delay in success. And that's something I really want you to think about. So think back. Is there an activity maybe that you started, a sport, a skill, something, schoolwork, and you had 100% effort, you're training, you're doing your studying, you're doing whatever you had to do, you're doing your, whatever the task was to accomplish, right? And then all of a sudden you expect it to be done after a day or a week or a month or whatever it might have been, and it just wasn't happening. And then instead of keeping that drive alive, you kind of just said, okay, well, I'll work a little bit today, and then I'll work a little bit tomorrow. And then really, it just kind of faded to the point where we never accomplished our task. We kind of quit it, and because we weren't seeing the results, but we probably didn't see the results because we gave up on that 100% effort level. So this can happen in martial arts, right? You could have a task, whether it be a jump spin kick, a new belt, flexibility, strength, whatever it might be, and you give it 100%. Like let's say you want to do 50 push-ups, right? And you give it great effort. You start doing, sets of 5 push-ups multiple times a day. And then the next week you're up to like 6 sets. Then you keep going. All of a sudden you're up to 20 push-ups, and then from there it starts to really get a lot harder. After you get to that 20 push-up point, maybe you're tired, you've been doing it for a while, you really thought you were going to get 50 push-ups in under a month or something, right? And after a month you're like, man, I really don't want to do this anymore. Well, we have to always remember, what's the end goal? Why are we applying the 100%? Is it worth it, right? Do we want to learn the habit of perseverance and busting through these kind of barriers? And then do you keep putting in the proper amount of effort? And I don't expect, if you're doing 50 push-ups as your goal, to accomplish it in a month. I don't expect you to do it every single day, right? I understand we're going to need some days off from that. But if we set up a plan, let's figure out what 100% is. What would 100% effort look like? Either when we're doing our project, or we're doing, let's say, this push-up thing, we're focused. We're not watching TV and taking a break. We're setting up our tasks. We're setting up our list of numbers we're going to do each day, and then we do everything we can to accomplish that task. Now, obviously, giving 100% could mean that you train 24/7, and that's not realistic because none of us can commit all that time to it. But something to think about is, if you set up a plan in advance, what 100% looks like, right? So think about this. What does 100% effort look like? It means without distractions, full focus, right? Full effort. You're actually putting out and exerting effort with physical action, right? Okay. Or you're actually doing the exercise if it's maybe something mental. And I want you to think about that in advance. Maybe write that out. Give yourself kind of a plan, a list, or kind of a task to follow. And then if we have to look back and say, okay, my task is taking too long, I'm having to persevere through this, what is my 100% supposed to look like? Am I doing it? Did I stay on task and do what I originally said I would do to make this 100% effort and putting everything I could in to accomplish this on time? So again, something I want you to think about as you look back and kind of watch some of our stuff we have on perseverance, that'll kind of play into this. But again, start to figure out, what is the end result? Why do you want it, right? Think about the project maybe, or something in the past you kind of fizzled out on, right? How do you feel about that? Going forward, you think, man, had I just pushed for one more week, I would have got it. Or if I would have studied for one more hour, I would have had it, or whatever it might be. And then start to figure out in advance, next time when you start something, what does 100% effort look like, right? When you first start out martial arts, if you're making at least twice a week, that might be 100% effort for you. It might be enough. But then long term, obviously, it's more. So again, look forward. I want you to think of maybe something in the next 12 months that you're going to have to put 100% effort into, and hopefully it's every day class, right? But think forward. Then I want you to take that project, write it out on a piece of paper, schedule your goals, your tasks you have to do, and then also write down, what does 100% effort look like on each one of these tasks, these skills, or these activities, or getting to class, whatever it might be. And then hopefully over this month, we'll kind of talk about 100% effort, and we'll be able to kind of get a better look at what it is, and to be able to figure out when it is we're not applying it, and then kind of be happy when we figure out we are applying it. So again, Grandmaster Thorn with Edge, and hope to see you next week or in class this week.